Nani, and welcome to Lectora Live. We are actually live here. We are at the Lectora User Conference, and we are going to talk to, what is your name?
John Williford.
And John, what company are you with?
I'm with Baptist Health South Florida down in Miami.
It's great. How do you like the show so far?
The show's been excellent, informative. Everyone is friendly, eager to share, interested in exchanging ideas, tips, tricks. It's an awesome environment.
Oh, that's great. What, were you looking specifically for anything in particular coming here?
No. I'm relatively new to working with Lectora. I've only been working with it for a couple of years, but I've been in instructional design for longer than I will readily admit. And I came really just to see what I would get. I'm presenting, so...
Oh, you're presenting?
Yeah, I'm presenting tomorrow.
What are you presenting on?
Using jQuery to extend interactions inside of Lectora.
Nice, okay.
Yeah. So that's fun, and I had the same idea as one other presenter. I went to her session earlier, so I could make sure we're not covering too much of the same ground.
Who was that? Is that Becky?
Renata,
okay.
I'm blanking on her last name.
I think I know who it is.
Drummond? No.
Okay.
I'm not recalling.
Was it different?
She had already covered a lot of the things that I was intending to cover, but I had enough planned fallback, so I'll deviate from jQuery a little bit. I'll take a look at other JavaScript libraries like Buzz, like GreenSock for CSS animation, and I think I've got enough other stuff to keep everyone interested.
Did you attend John Blackman's one-day API class yesterday?
No.
My wife went to that yesterday and she said it was just a wealth of information. He did a data dump of everything you need to do. Now, it sounds like you already know how to use jQuery and how to get in there. Lectora is really extensible that way, which makes it fun. Except if you try to do certain kind of fades or transitions, they don't quite work the way you want always.
Yeah.
It's because of the way they preload the... I think they're preloading and then covering a layer. I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing.
I don't know. Every time I run into something like that, I end up talking to one of their engineers and asking them, okay, what's going on here and how do I get around this?
I heard rumors that's all changing. In the future, we're going to have every transition you could want, so that's going to be exciting.
That would be awesome.
People go, why do you want transitions? Well, for one, they make it interesting.
Yeah.
And two, they make it interesting.
Yeah.
You know, it's not all about hard, heavy content. It's just some things that make people kind of wake up a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's really good. What kind of training do you normally develop?
Well, normal was very clinical courses aimed mostly towards nurses, clinical partners. But I'm transitioning now, and I'm actually doing a lot of soft skill training development for leadership.
Okay.
So a big shifting of gears. It's not as technical. I'm doing much more small, like just-in-time development pieces as opposed to extensive courses.
Nice. And I have to tell you this joke because you just reminded me of it. You work in a religious institution with doctors in a hospital setting. And one thing I love is there was this old joke about the doctor who dies and he goes to heaven. He's at the pearly gates. And he's got a long line. He goes, I'm a great doctor back home. I don't want to have to wait in this line. And he goes right up to the front and asks St. Peter, can I go in first? I'm a famous doctor. I don't want to wait. And he goes, no, sorry, you're going to have to go to the back of the line with everybody else. He's furious, goes back to the line. And all of a sudden, about a half hour later, another doctor dressed in his scrubs comes running up, waves. St. Peter lets him right in. A first doctor comes back, goes, hey, if he got in, I want to get in. I'm the best doctor on earth. St. Peter goes, that's not a doctor. That's God. He's making believe he's a doctor. Badadoom. Oh, joke.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't laugh too hard at that.
But there are some like that. I've had a lot of friends who are doctors. It's like, hello, come on back down, you know. Yeah,
do one video shoot inside of a hospital, and you will get an education that you probably did not expect.
I believe it. I've done a little bit of video shoots for LA County Health Services and mental health. It was interesting. I had to do, we did a video shoot for mental health services once in the prison, because there's a big need for mental health services in the prison. A lot of them have issues. We go into one of the cells. I've got one of these cameras actually, and they go, "Don't touch anything, you'll get a staph infection." Oh, gosh. So it makes, as a video guy, wait a minute, we didn't get paid for staph infections. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was different. It was really different. And the doctors were the ones who played the patients, because they knew exactly how they acted.
Yeah.
It was fun. We did 3 days in jail. That's what I tell people. It was a 3-day stint. The only good thing is we got to let go at night, so that was good. I think every kid should be sent to work in jail for like a day or two, and then say, "Do you really want to come here again for a different reason?" No. It would wake a lot of kids up, I think.
Yeah, I suspect so.
What do you like about working with Lector?
The versatility of it. It does an awful lot natively, and whatever you can't do natively, you can extend it. You can use JavaScript. I went to a session earlier, and though the session didn't focus on this, the session lead was talking about using PHP inside of Lectora to send data to a local database.
Yep.
Nice stuff.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
In fact, John Blackman was showing yesterday on his laptop that he was presenting with. He had an IIS server. So he's got a server. He was acting as a server for the 20 people in the class.
Right.
And it was all done through PHP.
Right.
It worked.
Right.
And it worked really well.
And now there's XAPI.
I know, that's nice.
And you can send those calls if you've got an LRS. You can track more than you probably really want to.
True.
I mean, anything. How many seconds between clicks, stuff like that. So.
And it's funny, they used to track stuff like that in the old days with AICC.
Yeah.
Everybody got out of it.
Yeah.
But we work with a lot of large corporations. They don't want to track anything. Did you complete? Yes, good. You're done. Well, do you want to learn? No. You're done.
Well, I think the mindset will go back and forth on that.
You can't track performance if you have no idea what they're doing.
Right.
But I think in our world of a lot of lawyers and everything else, we're doing check-off training. Yeah. They check that off, check that off, check that. Yeah. We're not teaching.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get indemnified just in case there's a lawsuit. And unfortunately, they spend millions to do that when you don't have to. You could actually do good training and still make it interesting and track things.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, other companies I know are doing a lot of analytics based on exactly what you said. How long were you in that transaction? How many did you get wrong? Which ones did you get wrong?
Right.
Is there a group of people that kept getting the same ones wrong?
Right.
Well, if there are, maybe we need to either change the question or change the people, or actually remediate.
Right.
But nobody's looking. A lot of people just aren't looking at that. And so if XAPI starts making it with a lot of companies, I think we're going to see much more of that, which will be fun. I think it'll make training more interesting.
Between that, the surge in machine learning and adaptive testing that's going on as well, they both, for the people that want to make the investment of the time and the money to really delve into how their training is affecting the performance of their learners, they're gonna reap some pretty amazing rewards from that. I'm just waiting to be in a position where I get to do some of that too.
It's going to happen, I think. I know some people doing that already, but they're few. They're few. And in this case, this is an insurance company we know. They're actually going through. They have a lot of analytics they do on training on the whole, on all of the e-learning. And then they start looking at the trends between all the different groups, the trend of complaints, the trend of other lawsuits. What's going on? Is the training improving response time? Is the training improving how quickly customer service reps can solve a problem? Are the customer reps going to the wrong place too often? Do they have to come back and not refer people until they figure it out? So they're learning a ton of stuff from it. They run analytics on a daily basis. And I'm going, wow, that's great. I mean, that's really what all of us should be doing, but a lot of companies don't either have the time, effort, or interest to make that happen. But especially in a hospital setting, they could learn so much about what went on, not only with patients, but with even surgical techniques. What I know some companies are starting to do things on what techniques were used, how successful those techniques were, how was the post-op recovery time. And it's funny, they were starting to tie it all back to the surgery and how that was done and what training the doctor had in doing that surgery. It's pretty fascinating.
Now you're starting to sound like our keynote speaker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She was doing that too? I didn't see her.
You missed something then, because she's talking about how what she referred to as the top deck organizations in e-learning are tying what they do to business needs.
Yeah.
And employing analytics and being very serious about it.
Yeah. We did a demo for a company that is coming up, a company called Avenger, and they came up with a new process for doing the arterial surgery into the heart. They're coming in through the hip, but they've got a special device that rotates as it's going. So when there's a deviation in the path, the old ones would just kind of go off into the weeds and you're in the wrong arteries. We just went into the stomach and we're not going up where we should. This thing keeps track of it and they can control it as it's moving. It's really fascinating. The camera spins inside of the front.
Wow.
So the software that they have writes it as it goes, so that it doesn't. And the doctors are saying it's amazing. They can actually now go in and do surgeries that were very risky before, especially removing large amounts of plaque. They can actually roto-rooter it better than they ever have without risk to the walls, which can collapse.
Right.
So this does a much finer job. And so in the training we did, in the demo we did, we would show a live, the surgery going on, and at certain points we would flash, as soon as the doctor does this, click. So when the doctor hit a certain point, click. And then that click meant you stopped at the right point because they're about to deviate.
Right.
So we would preface everything they had to do. And it was fascinating, that kind of training for a doctor, they could actually analyze that, figure out how well the doctor was doing and remediate based on his surgical expertise. Is he going in the right direction? It was all done with live videos. These were real operations, and they could control where it went based on what they chose. So we would load different videos if they went the wrong way. Oh darn, I'm in the stomach cavity. I'm sorry, it should have gone that way. Fascinating stuff.
Yeah, that's one of the best side benefits of being in training or e-learning development is you get exposure to so much stuff and you learn these cool things.
And it is fun. Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah.
I think it sounds like you've been in the field for a while. I've been in for a while too. And it's just so much fun. I never get tired of learning something new from a different client.
Yeah.
Because there's always something new.
Yeah.
And if you keep your mind open and curious, it's amazing how much you learn. And at one point you start telling the doctor, no, a little bit, you're about 2 millimeters off there, you got to move it this way. It's like, the doctor's going, who are you?
Yeah.
Are you a doctor? Actually, I've been called a doctor by people. I go, sorry, not a doctor. How do you know all this? Reading, watching videos, and talking to doctors.
Yeah.
But that's impossible. No, it isn't. But I think I always joke, in a very mediocre world, if you know a little bit, what's that, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king? It's kind of like that in today's day and age. Very few people try to learn more. And it's a shame because there's so much to learn. There's so much that everywhere, and anything you do, it's just fun.
Yeah.
So when are you presenting?
Tomorrow at the end of the day, the last session. I'll be over here in the big room.
Is that this one here?
Yeah.
That's where they have the keynote, right?
Yeah, that's the
ballroom
the
or
1,
something?
2, 3. Yeah.
It's all three. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm presenting tomorrow, but I have no idea where. I'm doing something on storytelling and a little bit of immersive training.
Oh, I think I'll be in your audience then.
Oh, good. I'll look forward to seeing you then. We did this as a webinar about 3-4 months ago for Trivantis, and we're kind of bringing it back out here. It's always more fun when you have an interactive audience,
right.
Especially when you're talking storytelling.
Right.
It's like trying to get people involved with storytelling. And I love it because when I did that one for Trivantis, the reviews I had mostly good reviews, but I had some saying, he told too many stories.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you say? Let's talk about storytelling. Oh, here it goes again. It's a story. Well, no, it's storytelling.
Yeah.
You know, even in e-learning, you can tell stories. You can have no. It wouldn't have been bad if it hadn't been for so many stories. It's like, oh gosh. So at that point, you go, maybe we'll go back to IT work. But it's a different world.
That's okay. It gives you something to laugh about later.
It does. It does. It becomes part of the stories.
Right.
Well, anyway, I'm glad to have met you, and
Likewise.
Good luck at the show. Good luck tomorrow with the presentation. I'll see you if you do make it to mine. I'll love to have you in there. So it'll be fun. But you might be the only one that we don't know. And hopefully, it's a good one. But it's always more fun when you have more people, because then we can get in a little bit more into the kind of weeds of storytelling a bit, and because there's a lot of talk about gamification. We're going to talk about that a little bit and debunk some of what gamification is. Of course, I have to wear a bulletproof vest for that one, but just. You're talking about gamification. You can't do that. There's a lot of myth about gamification.
And everybody has their pet,
They do.
overused buzzword.
They do.
Of the week, day or month.
Gamification's a big one too.
Yeah.
I did. We actually lost a bid last year because they said we knew too much. I was going, should I have just dumbed it down a bit, acted more stupid? I don't know. But it was just the weirdest thing. We usually don't lose for knowing too much. But it's because I questioned their bid. They said they wanted everything mobile. And I asked, what kind of mobile training do you have right now? What devices are you trying to teach? Oh, no, we don't have any mobile at all. But this is all software simulation. But how are you going to get that on your phone? But we need mobile. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Because it won't reproduce down. You've got 150 fields on one screen. These are insurance screens. You know too much.
You would have
I asked too many questions.
enjoyed the keynote.
I think I'm actually glad I didn't get that one, but because they bought an RFP and they just threw everything in there. And it's like, no, guys, this is going to get you in trouble. And this is the nature of what we go through every day. We see these RFPs all the time. I go, they go to RFP.corporation? I mean, it's all the same. And they're asking for the same kind of stuff. And when you start digging a little deeper, then you realize the emperor has no clothes and doesn't even know he's the emperor.
Right.
So it's interesting stuff.
Yeah.
But
they think they need one thing and they really don't.
And they don't.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, again, I really appreciate you coming on today. This is going to be live on YouTube, so if we have your email, we'll send you a link to it later on. It's up right now. As we've been talking, we've been streaming. So I'm going to stop the show, Leslie. Can you stop it?